Hello everyone, welcome to today's edition. I know I haven't done any videos for a while, but things at work have been really rough, so been hard to find time to do it. But you might notice my charts look a little bit different. I've added a few things, I've taken a few things away. What I have here is it's called an MTF MACD multi-time frame. And here I have the onset trend detector, which is included with thinkorswim, but I modified it by putting signals in for when the blue line, which is I think it's called the roofing filter line, when the blue line crosses the zero line right here, it gives me one of these signals. So this happens to be the E-mini futures, SPY futures, so or S&P 500 futures, I should say. Let's just take a look at this real quick. We have signal here, which would be a buy signal, and what it does, this multi-time frame, let me go ahead and show you how this works. The multi-time frame, you can come in here and you set your MACD numbers like you normally would. I have mine at 6, 13, and 5. And then you set your time frame. You have your time frame set for, hold on 1 second here. You have your time frame set. I have a 3-minute chart here, and I have these set for 5 and 15. If I set this for, say, 1 minute or 2 minute, it's not going to show up correctly. See down here it says time frames are correct. Your current time frame you're using here has to be the lowest number, and then these two have to be higher than that. And what this does then is it shows you your 3-minute, 5-minute, and 15-minute time frames in here. You don't get a red or a green unless all three coincide with each other. All three are indicating the same direction. So this here all show the same direction. The red here all show the same downward direction. If they're white, then there's conflicting time frames. So white is basically a stay away. So this, I believe I got this from Han Tech. If you look at YouTube, look on YouTube for Han Tech. He does a lot of great videos on thinkorswim. I think that's where I got this from. And like I said, the only thing I did was I added, actually I didn't add anything to this one. I just went in and changed my numbers like I just showed you, and that's all I've done on this. The onset trend detector, like I said, that's included in thinkorswim. All I did was edit the code to put these little indicators here to show me when there's a cross. You don't need those, but it makes it a little bit easier to stand out. This particular one here, I probably wouldn't, I don't know, I might not have traded this one. Only because as red as we've been lately, it'd be hard for me to go long, especially right out of the gate, not knowing. I mean, yesterday we opened up how many points, and look what happened. So I probably would have avoided this one just to wait and see what was going to happen. This one here, I probably would have traded this one. And the reason why, we crossed below this pivot point. This candle crossed below the pivot point. We got the down signal here on the onset trend indicator, and we had 2 red bars in the third one here. So all 3 time frames on the MACD coincided. So I probably would have entered on this candle. Entered right here. Target would have been probably right here, would have been my first target. So you know, this, it doesn't matter what the ticker is. It's a chart's a chart. But on this particular one, my entry would have been 28.8875, and I would have got out right about here at the low of this. So probably right about the close of this candle, 88.75. I would have got out at 72.25. That's a pretty big change. Over here, I probably wouldn't have went long here because it's hard to go long when things are the way they are. But this was a long indicator. We had all white bars here, so it wouldn't have been a valid one anyway. Another thing is the steeper this blue line is, the steeper angle, either up or down, usually the more strong it is. If you have a flatter one like this, and it happens to cross below, and then cross below or cross up, or sometimes it'll cross below and back up within one or two candles, they're not as strong. The steeper this angle, the more likely it is to follow through. Let's just stay on the ES for now. Go back to yesterday. See what we saw yesterday. See, this one's here, one here that it popped up and below on like consecutive candles. These ones are harder to trade, but I mean, actually, as soon as this candle closed, this candle here would have shown a buy indicator. The problem is we had no green bars down here, so there wouldn't have been a buy entry. This one here was a sell indicator. The thing I don't like about this was we only had one red bar, and it was still looked like it was still above the zero line. But nonetheless, I mean, an entry would have been here. My stop out probably would have been either a close above the 34. It probably would have actually been a close above this pivot point, or fib retracement. But this fib retracement is based on today, so this probably wouldn't have been here. So I probably would have used this 34 EMA, or maybe even more likely would have been this high here, would have been my stop out. So this one would have worked. Long entry here. It would have been tough to go long right now, but we did have this indicator here, pretty steep angle, 2 green bars on the histogram. We had a MACD cross here on the 3-minute. We popped up above the 34 EMA. This would have been, I probably would have used a stop either below the cloud here, or maybe just below the 34 EMA would have been my stop out, with a target to here. It would have been a tight target, but a real tight stop. And that would have worked. You would have got it, I don't know, if you got in at 40.25, got out at 60.79, that's 60.75, that's 20 points. That's, I think, $1,000 when you're trading futures. Let's take a look at let's just say Apple, just to get something that you guys are probably more familiar with trading. 1 second here. Okay, let's take a look at today's pop up here, but again, going long on a day like today after the last few days would have been tough to do. But it would have looked like, if we would have popped above this, we did pop above it, but we didn't hold above it. So if it would have held above this line, I might have went ahead and got in, but it would have been small because I don't like falling after a big candle like this. Short signal here, but we have no red candles down here. Long signal here. This one might not have been bad. We had, what I don't like is following after a big candle on the very next candle, because our entry would have actually been this candle here. We're already near a resistance point. We just followed a big green candle. What I probably would have done is waited for something about the midpoint of the candle, which would kind of coincide with this 34 EMA. So I probably would have waited for the cross or come down and touch that 34 EMA. My entry probably would have been closer to, I probably might not have got in at this point now because we lost our green bars. So I probably would have let this one go. I had some pretty good trades yesterday on Nvidia and Apple, but I don't recall what they were now, when my entries were, so I can't really bring those up. Same thing here. Came up to, we had a gap here, came right up. This was today, correct? Yeah, this was yesterday. This gap may have been from yesterday, so I'm going to ignore it for now. But we come over here. This is a little bit flatter slope, but we were coming down. We had some red bars here. This I probably would have, based on the last few days of trading we've had here with the sell-offs we've had, I probably would have entered this here. Let's go back to futures. I've been trading futures. You see I'm up $662 today on futures. Lost money on Apple. Actually, I started a long position in Apple. Bought some calls for March 20th. They're not holding up real good right now, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll add to them and we'll see how it goes. Same thing with Tesla. Those actually expired today, and they're only worth a couple dollars. So SPY, yeah, that one didn't work out either. Nvidia, this one I held from last night. I was up probably about 100%. I paid $1. I think I paid $1.40, and when the market opened, the ask was $4. I put my order at $3. Actually, I put my order at $4, and Thinkorswim was froze up. I tried to cancel it. It wouldn't let me cancel it. I had to go on from my phone. I was able to cancel it on my phone. I changed it to $3, but by the time I did that, it dropped down to like $2.20, and then I couldn't cancel that one. And in the end, I sold it for $2. I think I made, I don't know, 15% on it, but I was up 100%, over 100%. And because of Thinkorswim freezing up on me, there was a lot of people that had that issue this morning. Because of Thinkorswim freezing up, it cost me about 85% worth of profit on that trade. So I wasn't too happy about that. But yeah, it is what it is. So back to futures. I've traded futures before a few years ago. Hadn't traded them for quite a while. I applied for it and was just approved for it. I guess this morning, I just noticed this morning I was approved. I didn't even get an email or anything about it, but I noticed I was approved. So I did a test this morning, pre-market, and just a quick $100 win on that one. And then I traded it again. Let's see if I can use my other screen, my other computer, to see. I traded it at 8.19 this morning for a quick $100. I went short on it, and that's kind of confusing because you have to sell it first and buy it back later, so you have to make sure you don't mess that up. I also shorted it again at 9.53, which was right here, actually right where I pointed out earlier. I put my money where my mouth is. We had the sell indicator here. I had some red candles. We dropped below this pivot. I entered right here. I entered at 9:53 and 34 seconds. So it was actually right before this candle closed. I went ahead and entered. I sold it for $28.88.25. I bought it back at $28.86, which was not much of a movement. I only made, what's that, $100? 2 points. What's 2 points? Yeah, $100. I only made $100 on that one. And then I shorted it again at 10.29. So at 10.29, I shorted it here and wrote it down. Bought it back. I shorted that for $5.50. I sold it at $28.67.50 and bought it back at $28.61. So that one was worth, I think, $500, something like that. And then I traded it again at 11:08. So I got in again right after this candle opened, and I bought it back. It was only 50 seconds later. It was just a real quick 3-point hit, which was, I think that's $150, so a quick $150 on that one. And then I went long at 11:32, right after the open of this candle. I went long on this, and I wrote it up here, and then it started pulling back, and I sold it. It was like a $37 loss, but I don't like buying after that much of a run. But it looked like it was going to pop, and I was looking for a pop up to here to these previous highs. So I was looking for a quick pop to here. So I jumped in, and it ended up losing some momentum and started to sell off. So I backed out of it, and it ended up running anyway. So if I would have held on to that, that would have been, oh man, what was the high here? I would have probably held to the close of this candle, right near these resistance lines. So it's 41.25, and I bought it at 20. So 20 points is $1,000. So yeah, that's kind of what it looks like to trade futures. Like I said, I used to trade futures. I haven't traded them for years. Checking things at work here real quick. I hadn't traded futures in a while. I like trading futures. You do have to be careful because they do move quick. I may go short on this one in a little bit here. We'll see what it does. If it loses 30-40, I might go ahead and go short, because by that time, well, yeah, this is kind of funky when it does this. I have to get rid of this. On your time axis, you can put blank bars to the right. I like doing it just because it's easier to see. But why didn't it? Okay, there it goes. But sometimes you get funky signals here if you do that. So I'm trying to get away from using those. I used to, when I traded Ichimoku Cloud, I used to use it, and I quit using it, but I quit using the Ichimoku Cloud, but I continued to leave the blank area here because it's a little bit easier to read, but it kind of messes with your indicators, because they continue out past there. So maybe we'll do a quick, we'll see. I don't want to keep this, I don't want to make this video too long, but if we get a drop here, I might go ahead and do a quick trade, not with really much intention of making money, just more or less to show you. And the liquidity on futures is very high, so you can do market orders, and there's not really any slippage. So you can do sell market, which would get me in the trade short, and then just do a flatten to get out of it. So you don't have to, it's not like you have to chase things like you do with options. You might put an order in, and then you have to chase it because you didn't get filled, and you don't want to put a market order because of slippage, and it could kill you on that. And with futures, you really don't have slippage. So yeah, I'm not ready to get in this. I don't know that I'm going to get in it, so I'm going to cut the video off. But anyway, yeah, going to see if I can keep doing, get back in with these videos here. But I just wanted to get one out there and show you what my charts look like now. Remember, go out. You can try Han Tech on YouTube. He has a website that a lot of these you can download. So you can download this, the MTF MACD, and then Onset Trend. That's right on Thinkorswim's platform. You can just go in and grab it. And if you're interested in the code for these indicators, I can give you that. They're not hard to create. I created a bunch of them. So, all right, thanks for watching. Leave comments below. If you guys like these videos, hit the like button, subscribe button. That way I know. I mean, I see some people watching them. I see that they're getting watched, but there's a lot of drive-by watching on YouTube. If you actually subscribe to it or like it, then tells me that you did more than just watch it and you're more interested in it. So it might motivate me to continue doing more videos. I have a lot more videos that I'd like to do and would like to show some stuff, but you know, time's a little tough as far as free time to do it during the day. So, all right, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.